Dear student, now I give lecture on unit commitment solution method. The unit commitment problem can be very difficult because we must establish a loading pattern for m periods. We have n units to commit and dispatch. The m load levels and operating limits on the n units. That means one unit can supply the individual loads or the combination of the units. Any combination of the units can also supply the load only. The formula is 2n power minus 1. The total combination, how to calculate 2n minus 1, where capital N is the number of units to commit and dispatch. Now you see the tabular column. I take n equal to 5, 10, 20 and 40. The period m is 24-hour period. Then the maximum number of possible combination is 2n minus 1, the power is m. Now you see calculated 5 units how much is 6.2 into 10 to the power 35. 10 units means 1.73 into 10 to the power 72. 20 units means 3.12 into 10 to the power 144. If 40 units, that is 2 buck. By using this formula only, we have to calculate the maximum number of possible combination of, that means unit commitment. Now we studied about the periodicity list method. There are three types of technique can be used to unit commitment solution method. One is periodicity list method, another is dynamic programming method, third one is Lagrange relaxation method. The first one is periodic list method. The name itself is the periodicity list. Which unit we have to give the first periodicity based on the list only. So now we have to prepare the periodicity list. That is the periodicity list method. I take the example 3 unit power system. So the first unit minimum load, maximum load, and then unit 2 minimum load, maximum load, third unit minimum load, maximum load, and then fuel cost. Now we the tabular column, the unit 1 to 3, and then now we calculate the average production cost. By using that formula, for unit 1 the average production cost for full load 9.79, and then the unit 2 the full load average production cost is 9.48. The unit 3 is 11.188 only. Based on the full load average production cost, after that we have to prepare the order of the unit only. Now which unit, that means having the less average production cost? The unit 2 only having less production cost, that is 9.48 from the tabular column. Then we the unit 2 only having less average production cost for then first then 3 unit. So now we have to arrange the order. So 2, 1, 3 only. So that's why 9.48, 9.79, 11.188. Unit 2, what is the minimum load? 100. What is the maximum load? 400. The unit 1 minimum load is 150, maximum load is 600. Similarly, the unit 3 minimum load is 50, maximum load is 200. So, in the periodicity list method, first we have to calculate the average production cost for each unit, then to make the tabular column. Then again, based on the average production cost, we have to prepare the, that means order of the periodicity. Then we prepare the, that means calculate the combination. So in this combination, so 2, 1, 3. So 2 plus 1 plus 3 combination. All the 3 units are if synchronized and connected in the interconnected power system which is on in service, which is used to meet our load demand, means what is the minimum load for that combination is 300, because unit 2 is 100 Unit 1 is 150, unit 3 is 50, the total is nothing but the 300 is the minimum load. The maximum load is 400 plus 600 plus 200 only. So therefore the total maximum load is 1200 if the combination of these three units. Suppose in case we only connected unit 2 and 1 only, then the minimum load is 100 plus 150 is equal to 250. 400 plus 600 is equal to 1000 only maximum load only. If these two combination only meet our demand, minimum is 250, maximum is 1000 megawatt. If only you can two unit only connected mean the minimum load is 100, maximum load is 400. So based on the average production cost, we have to first you have to prepare the priority for the given unit based on the average production cost. Then you can prepare the combination list, then we can calculate the minimum load and the maximum load. This is known as the priority list method for solution of unit commitment problems. Then what is the points, summary of points of the periodic list method is the first one, at each hour when the load is dropping, determine whether the dropping in the next unit or the periodic list will leave sufficient generation to supply the load plus spinning reserve requirement. Spinning reserve is the one of the unit commitment constraint. Second one is determine the number of hours you can calculate it. Then next, if the number of hours calculated which is less than the minimum shutdown time for the unit, keep commitment as and then go to last step, and then if not means go to next step only. We can calculate the two cost. One is startup cost for cooling, another one is startup cost for banking. This is nothing but the thermal constraints of unit commitment problem. Then last one, the same entire procedure you have to follow. You can prepare for the next unit on the priority list. If it is also dropped, go to the next and so far only. So this is the priority list method. Then we studied about the dynamic programming method. The dynamic programming method and all, we can take the priority first unit 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. If 4 unit you take means 4 only. So that is 2 power 4 minus 1. So that's a kind of combination. That means that is 24 minus 1. That is 15 only. So now here and all, what dynamic programming is? Forward dynamic programming approach that we have to use it. So what are the some assumption we have to make? First one is no load cost are 0, no input output characteristics are linear between 0 output and full load, and then there are no other restrictions. Startup cost are a fixed amount. These four we have to take. Then next, some assumption we made. The first one is a state consists of an array of units with a specified unit operating and the rest of offline. Second one is the startup cost. Third one is there are no cost for shutting down a unit. Then strict priority order by using priority list method. Now here two types of approach is there. One is forward dynamic programming approach, another one is backward dynamic programming approach. In this case we are using only forward dynamic programming approach. That means the algorithm to run backward in time starting from the final hour to, that means initial hour only. This is known as the forward dynamic programming approach. Then the formula is the recursive algorithm to compute minimum cost. From the dynamic programming method, you have to calculate the minimum cost in our k with the combination of I. The formula f cost k comma I minimum L p cost k comma I plus s cost k minus 1 L k comma I plus f cost k minus 1 comma L, where f cost k comma I is nothing but the least total cost to arrive at state k comma I. P cost, that means that is the k comma I means production cost for state k comma I. S cost k minus 1 L k comma 1, that is the transient cost only. Further, so therefore the state k minus 1 is the zth combination in our k. For the forward dynamic programming approach, first we define the strategy as the transition or path from one state at a given hour to a state at the next hour only. So in this case, we have two variable we are using. One is x, the second one is n, where x is nothing but the number of states to search each period. N is the number of strategy or path to save at each step only. Now you see the flowchart. First start, then k is equal to, if 1 means you already know the formula f cost k comma 1 only, you write the cost under. Then again you have to check and all. If k equal to k plus 1, when that means that is the x equal to do for all states I in period k, again go to that means f cost only. So then if this condition k is equal to k plus 1 satisfied, then next then you can find out the n feasible states in interval k minus 1, that is L we calculated. So then next we calculate the fuel cost k comma I only. Okay, in this case also to do for all the x that is equal to states I in period k only. Then next you save the lowest, that means cost strategy. Again you have to check k is equal to m. You are starting from 1 to m only k. If you can list the last hour, this is the last hour means that is s means optimum schedule is stored. If not the last hour means again the loop is going on only. So the from the flow chart only, that means by using the dynamic programming, there is forward dynamic approach problem and all, then we can easily, that means to solve the unit commitment problem. Thank you student for watching this video.